Okay, this is probably the third time I've attempted to record this, so we're going to see how far we can get, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it bounced. But here we are, okay? First thing you're going to notice, better graphics. You can clearly read Hyperborea in the center, and you can see the stars in their corresponding locations. So we're going to zoom in, and what I'm in the process of doing right now is 3D printing some of the topography for this, and you will see that in some of my upcoming videos. The first thing I started with is the Great Dome. But anyways, so here you can view the map for its integrity without any distractions. Clear as day, you can see. Now, for some reason, he took the name Lands of Seth. He took that out of here, and I believe that to be Adam's third son, Seth. Cain, Abel, and, well, because then the daughters for Cain and Abel, but then, you know, so it would be like Cain, Abel, their two daughters, and then Seth, I think, was like the fifth child born, I think, to my understanding at least. And so another thing here is I want to point out he doesn't have the ancestral lands or the lands of the Anakim giants, and also I want to point out another thing too about giants. Why is it that whenever there's references to giants, or whenever there's references to angels coming down and mating with anyone, why does everyone always only say Nephilim? Excuse me. What about the Raphaims and the Anakims and the Emims and the Zuzims and the Gibberims? You know, and I think there's even some more. Those are all different types of giants. And of course, the Anakim come from the Anakim lands right here. You know, and then, you know, the ties about Anakin Skywalker. It just gets really deep. The rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper. I believe all giants are bad. Regardless if they help humanity or not, they're trying to earn their way back into heaven. And all giants are abominations. They all come from the fallen angels. God made man in his image. God made Adam and Lilith, the first two people. And Lilith betrayed Adam. God turned her into a serpent. And from there, a lot of the serpent races were born through Lilith. And so they're not always Anunnaki. They're not always custodians. They're not always fallen angels when you come across these reptilians. Most of the reptilians are from Lilith, but they need to cover that up, so they need to make you think that they're from the fallen angels, when really, you know, the fallen angels are more like what you see, the Babylonian hieroglyphics that you see, where the winged creatures with the big beards and stuff like that. Those are more Anunnaki custodian. Your reptile beings are more the seed of Lilith. And because of her betrayal to God and Adam, 1,000 of her children were to die a day is part of her punishment. I think that's eternal. So yeah, because these reptilians lay eggs and have lots of people. But here you can see lots of offspring. But here you can see the celestial lands, Terra Incognita. I seen some other stuff about Terra Incognita that on the internet that was unrelated to this map. It was like this book, and it was an older book, and it had some graphics, and it was titled Terra Incognita. Can you guys please tell me if that is the same type of Terra Incognita? Anyways, so you have here the map, right? And I'm approaching my time limit here, so I just kind of want to show you guys what we're at here. And real quick thing to note here, the Cassiopeans, they are one of our allies, humanity, and they want to liberate us from the custodial, parasitic, fallen angel Anunnaki, and they are very advanced. And so Nibiru, Planet X, here we go. I'm running out of time here. I just wanted to show you guys the thing. And so, without further ado, here is Hyperborea. And we're going to zoom out here. And yeah, that's right. And so, excuse me, it is said that the custodians over by the land of Wasp, somewhere over here, they have penetrated the dome, And as soon as they bore through here, they were suffering severe casualties in Sheol. And I believe that is because God is chaining the fallen angels in hell where they belong, right? The ones that somehow escaped and stayed down here, he is now punishing them. And and these reports were getting out through the help of the Cassiopeia infiltration of the custodian bases, I believe, is how this information was getting out. But anyways, check it out, guys. Want you guys to see this. Of course, Revelation 1 right there. And I believe those 4 angels that stand at the 4 corners of the earth, I believe them to govern all of this ether, dark matter void. Any species of anything, if anything was to ever breach any of these domes, you would be confronted by these 4 angels. These are like the police or the force of the unknown. And to my understanding, they control the winds. So imagine if one of these angels was to blow a section of this void away, right, revealing a plot of land, and then God would then create there. And God would have commanded the angel to do so. But I also believe, real quickly, that I believe there's a classified dome here and a classified dome here. Another thing I want to point out is, if you guys know, like a turtle shell, you see how like these spots, these domes, look like the spots on a turtle shell? If you guys are familiar with the ancient knowledge of how the earth was created when the giant celestial turtle emerged from the celestial waters above with the earth on its back. You know what I mean? And so like these shapes kind of make up. So there's probably, if you keep zooming out, which we don't have, if you keep zooming out even more, it probably makes up 13. And there's reference to the 13 realms or the 13 domes. You know, like on a turtle shell, there's 13 spots. So I bet you anything there's 13 realms. Anyway, real interesting. So if you guys want this map, let me know in the comments, or okay, because I got this in my care package. And study hard, guys. Study hard. Guardian Kai 37 out.